Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And boy, oh boy, Pablo Hidalgo is in some hot water. He'll probably get off without a scratch, but the debacle yesterday where Pablo Hidalgo mocked a prominent Star Wars fan YouTuber has hit Variety.
Yeah, the mainstream media is even running with this, guys.
This is pretty catastrophic PR for Lucasfilm and Disney because Variety is saying that this incident is actually opening up the old wounds from The Last Jedi. Okay, that's not something that Lucasfilm or Disney wants to do right now.
Old wounds? You mean with the vocal minority who weren't real people who didn't like Star Wars? They were just incels in their mom's basement? You mean those old wounds?
Yes, the years of fans being berated and attacked by journalists, by defenders on Twitter for not liking The Last Jedi. Now, Variety actually seems to be taking the side of the fans.
Well, they all have to start doing that now if they want to stay in business.
If they want to survive, because all these places are going out of business. We'll talk about that, as well as Hidalgo's kind of half-assed apology.
Right. This isn't 2016 anymore.
No. And Disney, if you want to make money with Star Wars, you'd better watch what your people are saying.
We know you listen.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that too. So before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 164,000 subs, hoping for 200,000 soon. Thanks for the support, guys. 2020 for us has been pretty awesome in terms of channel growth, even though this year all the way around has been pretty much bullshit. But we do appreciate the support. Yeah, so before we get into the story about Pablo Hidalgo and his non-apology in Variety. Yeah, we'll bring this up. If you go out to Pirates and Princesses, which is actually a sister site to Clownfish TV, it's unbiased Disney news, opinionated Disney news from people who used to be on the inside track.
We'll say things Disney. Other places won't.
We will, because
they're all thinking it. We'll just say it.
We're not worried about losing our media access. I've had it before. It's frankly not worth it. Not what you have to give up.
Oh God, you have to jump through so many hoops to get down there just to go cover cupcakes.
Oh my God, yeah. That's how you get paid. You get paid. It's kind of like the wedding singer getting paid in meatballs, except Disney pays you in cupcakes and perks. You know, that's how this works. But yeah, we were on the media list for a number of years for another publication. It's not worth it, guys, because they basically own you for cupcakes.
Yeah, you made one critique on the Toy Story Land, and it was a very fair critique, which was, it's too damn hot. There's enough shade. Which, ironically, like a couple months later, after everybody else started complaining about it, they added shade. But that's all you said. And then the person from Disney was mad about that.
They're mad
Your
about
negativity. It's like, I just said they needed more shade.
Yeah, any negativity Disney takes as an attack. And it's interesting. We actually have WDW Pro, who is a legit Disney insider, put this article up the other day talking about how Lucasfilm and Disney writers are livid over the reception of Luke Skywalker. We've talked about that they actually seem very, very salty that Luke Skywalker has made such a splash.
But wait, if they're so mad over Luke Skywalker and white male leads, why the hell did they do Finn dirty?
That's a good...
If they're mad about white male leads, you had the opportunity to make a male lead that wasn't white that everybody wanted, and you didn't do it. Oh, right, because of China.
Yeah,
I know you're listening. To those who like us at Lucasfilm, hi, I love you, thank you. Well, do better. But those who don't like us at Lucasfilm, do better.
That was Geeky standing up and smacking her ass cheeks. I have to describe that for the people. Do better.
Stop ruining everything.
But Pro does point out, and this is 100% true, that he's told that individuals at Lucasfilm have been reading articles on PMP as well as watching videos on Clownfish TV and are now actively planning on how they can roadblock the retcon attempts of Filoni and Favreau to make Luke Skywalker a hero once more. The Hidalgos of Lucasfilm are not about to let Star Wars go back to what it was.
Well, then maybe Disney need to clean house at Lucasfilm. Do you like making money? I thought that was your point now. We have to change to direct to consumer because what consumers want is what matters. And you're telling the investors that you're going to try to do quantity and quality and you want to give people what they want because you need more content. Well, if you want to give people what they want, why the hell are you letting this stuff go on?
So just to backpedal here a little bit, for those of you who weren't aware of this situation, I will summarize it very briefly. Pablo Hidalgo, who is a creative executive and part of the Lucas Story Group and considered, I guess, kind of the archivist over at Lucasfilm. He's been there for about 20 years. Tweeted a reaction to YouTuber Star Wars Theory, who has almost 3 million subs, by the way. Tweeted a reaction to his crying upon seeing Luke Skywalker appear in The Mandalorian again, saying that you basically shouldn't show emotion, whatever.
Well, I mean, people were accusing him of faking it for the video, but he did it as it was airing, like everybody else was doing it as it was airing. So it wasn't like he knew ahead of time.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like he planned it. He didn't know. No one really knew.
Yeah, for the next 15 minutes, Twos, I don't know what his real name is. Sorry about that. Somebody's going to correct me in the comments, I'm sure. But Star Wars Theory wept as the episode unfolded. When it was over, he seemed slightly embarrassed, but mostly dumbstruck at all the deep feelings the episode had invoked in him. Thank you, Lucasfilm, he said. This is what the little 6-year-old in me wanted to see.
Oh my God, I'm going to cry just reading what you said.
Well, it gets better because you know what? Lucasfilm can't let the fans be happy with any bone they are given.
But here's the thing. He's not the only one. We talked about that Scoutmaster George on here the other day.
Yeah,
and I know there's a lot of people who grew up when like we were growing up and Luke was their hero. And Luke meant so much to so many. And the fact that if Luke can do it, we can do it. You know, that kind of thing. And to me, that's a hallmark of a good character. When the character means so much to you that they're like a person to you, you can't get any better than that. And I mean, you'd think that would be celebrated. You think that would be, you know, something to be happy about and excited about and embraced. But no, it's not. You got to undo it all and instead put in characters people don't like. And when people don't like them, instead of saying, okay, we're sorry, we're going to fix it, we're going to double down on the bullshit and go attack fans.
Well, that's what Lucasfilm's been doing. And, you know, we're going to talk about what happened here with Hidalgo, his apology, and then maybe, possibly, this incident, since it's actually hit Variety for all the wrong reasons, maybe somebody at Disney will take notice and be like, oh my God, Lucasfilm is out of control. Everything the fans have been saying for the last 3 or 4 years. And they've been telling you in videos, they've been telling you in blog posts, they've been telling you with their wallets by not going to see your movies, not buying your toys.
I mean, the only way you can lose more money is by doing this kind of shit and allowing your people to go around and behave in such a manner. And you're letting them do it. It's like you don't like money or something.
Yeah, so 10 days later, after he had an emotional moment over Luke Skywalker, Pablo Hidalgo, a top executive in Lucasfilm Story Department,
Lucasfilm Story Group just needs to go away. I'm sorry. Yeah, it does. They're behind most of the crap.
He was commenting on a thread that was ridiculing the emotional reaction to Luke's appearance. And this is what Star Wars Theory said. He said, I'd hate to believe he would join in on the teasing as a Lucasfilm official. He tweeted to his 101,000 followers asking anyone with access to Hidalgo's account to send him a screenshot because Hidalgo blocks people often.
Oh, imagine that.
On Twitter, and he went private.
A lot of these cowards do that. They want to throw shade and they want to yell and call you names or mock you or whatever. And then they hurt and private their account or block you so you can't see it. Or they talk about, we see this a lot too. They talk about you without tagging you in, trying to talk smack about people, hoping you don't find out about it. But when you do find out about it, they turn around and block you because they're cowards.
Yeah. Well, Hidalgo has, and this is not an isolated incident.
No.
Since 2016, 2017, he has definitely gone back and forth with people on Twitter, with certain segments of the fandom. And it was cool when Star Wars was making lots of money to attack the fans and be like, well, you lost, we won, neener.
Yeah, and the media just perpetuated it, like we've seen with many things. I would honestly say the media is at the heart of most of the divisions and fandoms and everything else, because you got these activists got themselves in positions on these platforms to write, and they literally spend all their time on Twitter causing shit or going out and writing articles slapping down fans who disagree with them. And instead of saying, hey, our opinions differ, that's okay. Like we say, you're allowed to like it, you're allowed not to like it. No, if you didn't like it, you're an istinophobe, you're a terrible person, go bully them, go get them to show them what a terrible person they are. Meanwhile, they're behaving exactly like they're claiming everybody else is behaving, but they're actually doing it.
I hope, and look, I'm not trying to single out any individual because it is a lot of people at Lucasfilm.
Oh yeah, it's not just him.
And it's not just Lucasfilm, it's Marvel Comics too. I hope to God that somebody at Disney is paying attention. You want to know why your properties are declining. You want to know why there are so many YouTube channels out there attacking your products. You have to look inward. Look at the people you have working for you. Look at how they're interacting with the fans, how they're taunting the fans. Look at the friendly journalists that are going out there and attacking fans using The Last Jedi as a battering ram.
What did they think was going to happen when they did what they did to Luke? What did they honestly think was going to happen? When you had decades of fans, right? Mm-hmm. Decades of fans who were huge Star Wars fans forever, even the expanded universe, Luke was still a central character, all this stuff. And then you're going to come and just switch it for your own OC, Rey, your own OC that you're going to do. What did you think people were going to do? I mean, there could have been better ways to do it. You could have handed it off in a way that made sense, had all the old cast back together, introduced the new people and handed it off in a way that made sense. You didn't do that. I'm so tired of this shit. You guys keep doing this crap. You keep going on, it's about diversity. You can do diversity. You can do diversity well, and you can make it organic and make it a good story, good characters who happen to be diverse. But like Marvel, no, it's all about diversity. We're going to slap you over the face with how diverse it is. And then you just need to show and not tell. Mandalorian did that. They did it in The Mandalorian. And you know what? Everybody loved it and it was fine. So it's not that people are against diversity. They're just against this activism masquerading as diversity bullshit that you guys keep pushing. If you want to make something diverse, just do it. People wanted Finn. They wanted more Finn. And you didn't give them more Finn because China might be pissed. Just do what they did in Mandalorian. Do awesome things that happen to be diverse.
Well, that's the problem. This does lend more credence to the theory that there is a civil war going on at Lucasfilm, that we have people that want to take Star Wars in a totally different direction. They want to cancel Luke Skywalker.
Then go make your own stories. Go do something else. Make your own universe and do whatever the hell you want in it.
And we're gonna bring up some other examples of Hidalgo being frankly a douchebag. But here's his apology.
It's arrogance.
It is arrogance.
Much like Disney, it's all arrogance.
So here's his non-apology. Basically, I'm sorry you misunderstood what I said. He said, I wish to clarify that my post that emotions are not to be shared was sarcastic self-mockery. I was making fun of myself.
Why would you put somebody else's video where they're crying and then say that? Why?
Yeah, it was certainly not intended to be hurtful to anyone.
Bullshit.
I'm deeply sorry. As a lifelong fan, I appreciate fans expressing how they feel.
As long as they express the right opinion.
Right. We're going to show you many examples of Pablo Hidalgo's baiting fans, which he's done. He's basically, I'm the king of the geeks and you're all going to kneel before me.
Kneel before Zod.
Kneel before Zod. It's what being a fan's about. Now, before we get into that, the fact that Variety, which is one of the most respected industry publications, every person in Hollywood reads Variety.
Yep.
Okay.
For decades, Variety's been like the news source for Hollywood.
And Variety is also the one that Lucasfilm uses as a battering ram. We saw it with
Hollywood Reporter.
And Hollywood Reporter.
They always leak. They leak things like this with that Leslie Headland bullshit.
So for them to come out and say this says something. This shows that the opinion toward Lucasfilm is changing. Hidalgo did not address placing the offending tweet as the banner over his account. He did. He took that tweet, which was an issue, and he took it and he privated his account. Then he put it to mock him, put it as his banner. But a source close to him says he did so briefly, not out of malice, but after people began asking his private followers for screenshots of the tweet.
Why would you delete it then? Why? Because it was deleted. If that was the case, then why lock your account and delete it? Why not just leave it up? If that was the case, it's malice. It was out of malice. Why would you do that? You knew it was already out there. People were going to find it anyway.
Right. So the damage, again, Variety, not YouTubers, not bloggers, not the right-wing Yahtzee Russian bots. Variety says the damage had been done. By the time Hidalgo apologized, the YouTube reaction video about Hidalgo's tweet in which Twos, being Star Wars Theory, discussed how much Luke Skywalker had helped him when he battled cancer had already amassed 500,000 views and was trending on Twitter.
It was trending. I saw it a couple times, yeah.
I'm like, look, Disney, Lucasfilm, you finally have a little bit of an ember of hope. You fucked up Star Wars with The Last Jedi.
You really did. I'm sorry.
You fucked up Luke Skywalker. You have a chance to win back fans. And your own people are fucking it up.
Well, not just that. So fucked up Luke Skywalker, sorry mom, with The Last Jedi, okay? So they gained a whole following for that, that a bunch of people like the new version. The vocal minority. I'll call them the vocal minority because they legitimately were the vocal minority with journalists and all these people. And then you turned around for Rise of Skywalker trying to get back the old fans that you were calling the vocal minority before that turned out to be the majority. And all you did was please nobody and you lost everybody.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't even stick to your guns. You flip-flopped. And then when you flip-flopped, just those you did have on your side, they all left too because you're like, oh, F this, I'm out.
Yep.
And now you get people back. Okay, everybody just threw that away. They're like, we're not even thinking about the sequel trilogy anymore. It's a cluster. We still have not seen Rise of Skywalker. You thought, okay, we have The Mandalorian. Mandalorian came out. People liked The Mandalorian because it felt like classic Star Wars. It felt like people behind it cared about the fans and cared about legacies. It felt legit. You got a lot of people back. Cautiously, you're still like not there.
I'm still not sold, and this is why.
I agree with you. But a lot of people were willing to give that a chance, and were willing to okay, you have my attention, I'll listen. And then even the people that you made mad with the Rise of Skywalker were all liking it. And then you had Grogu, and everybody was like, Baby Yoda, ooh, hard eyes. And you had this opportunity, and you started to rebuild, and you were going in the right direction, which I still think you should put Favreau in charge over there. And then this happens. It's like all the goodwill you had, not everybody, even the people that white knighted for you, they're pissed at you too.
Yeah, Variety in its ilk were basically like, the old school fans need to get over themselves. Now they're even like, wait, maybe people at Lucasfilm actually are trash. Maybe they actually are, actively going after the fans.
Not all of them, some of them.
Some of them. Again, want to be clear, it's not everybody.
Because I know there's people over there that leak into people on purpose because they don't believe in it either.
Yeah, but Hidalgo has a history of trolling fans. He's been doing this.
This is from Star Wars is Dumb.
Yeah, this is from Disney. This is Itchy Baka from Disney Star Wars is Dumb.wordpress.com. Go out here. What's a YouTuber to Pablo Hidalgo? Here's a picture of a tick.
Well, these ticks are the ones that keep calling you out. And it's so funny. Just because you don't like what people have to say doesn't mean they're wrong.
Now, Pablo Hidalgo has a pre-existing issue with Star Wars theory. He did a Vader fan film. It was a very good film. It was just a fan film. To the best of my knowledge, he wasn't monetizing it or anything. And there was a copyright claim on it by Disney. Hidalgo's reaction to Disney threatening legal action against Star Wars theory before was a Simpsons clip. I owned Mickey Mouse massage parlors, then those Disney sleazeballs shut me down.
Yeah, but he also said, they keep tagging me in, but I don't follow it. The thing is, he might not have had anything to do with that.
Look. And
what could he say? If it was because he was trying to protect his job, what could he say? He couldn't say one way or another because he'd get in trouble. But apparently, you can say whatever the hell you want and not get in trouble.
What do you say if you're representing the company and you're as high up the food chain as he is, as a representative of Disney? You don't say anything.
I'm sure he was told not to.
You don't say anything. You let their legal department handle it. You keep your nose out of it because you're not the lawyers. And if somebody asks you point blank what you think, just be like, hey, I'm not a lawyer.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, so he has an enemies list.
Oh, F you.
An enemies list, or he retweets somebody else's, and it's all a bunch of YouTubers. Odin's Movie Blog, Jesse Milestone, That Star Wars Girl, Ivan Film Fix, World Class Bullshitters, Geeks and Gamers, Jeremy D-Day Cobra, Ethan Van Skyver, I think's on there too. I don't think we're on there. I'm sure we are now.
Well, I know they know about us, though, because we're a point of discussion over there.
Let's look at some other of his past tweets. Pablo Hidalgo. If you find yourself wondering if your fandom is the weird one, don't. They all are.
Well, that's not true.
No, that's true. Hidalgo, fandom has always been like this. You have no idea how hated Empire Strikes Back was by some shippers for hooking up Leia and Han.
Okay, you know what? There was some backlash to Empire Strikes Back in the day, but it is not like they keep making it out to be.
No.
That was a narrative that somebody...
Ryan Johnson
came up with, and they all keep running with it. And it's like, they keep doing this. And it's like, trust me, there was no way, your apples and oranges comparing here. One, you didn't have the internet and social media. Two, it wouldn't be ranked number one in every stinking Star Wars film list if everybody hated it the way you did. Plus, I don't think shippers were a thing then like they were. I'm not saying they weren't, because the people were shipping, I'm sure. But not like now. Not like now where they have whole groups dedicated to it.
So now you've got Pablo Hidalgo. And look, you can think this stuff, but you are a higher up at Lucasfilm. Pablo Hidalgo agreeing that Star Wars fans are shitty. This is what he says about Star Wars fans. It's always been shitty, the Star Wars fandom, but there's been an enclave of scientists uncovering new strata of shifty, unseen. Basically, it's gotten worse.
Oh, are they investigating his house?
Yeah, right. But to have Pablo Hidalgo, who works for Lucasfilm, and he's an executive at Lucasfilm, saying the Star Wars fandom has always been shitty publicly.
Oh, of course, it's always toxic man babies. And, as a woman, I'm going to speak up for a minute. I get so sick and effing tired of this. And I'm sure a lot of you people out there that aren't straight, white, and male are in the same boat as I am, where you get so fucking tired. Sorry, Mom. It's always the whiny man babies. It's always blamed on them. It's always because they're cis white men or whatever. It's always that's your excuse. So when you're a person that doesn't represent those things, they literally step over you and act like your opinion matters nothing. So they're whining about people not liking stuff and whining about how it's all white men, but when people that aren't white men speak up in agreement, that's even worse, because you're like claiming that's what you want to hear, opinions of people that aren't white men, that some white men want to hear, or some men in general want to hear. They do this. I'm not talking about just him. I'm talking about these articles. People write these articles. That one article they were talking about how they're blaming it on, they're mad because, what Pro was saying, they're mad because they don't want the white men narrative by a bunch of people that some of them are white. Lucasfilm's whining about it. My point is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what race, gender, sexual orientation you are. You're allowed to have your opinion. You're allowed to like what you like. I always say, if you like, you're allowed to like it, you're allowed not to like it. But this whole ridiculous argument where everybody who doesn't agree with them is a man baby incel is insulting to those who are not.
Speaking of which, that's one of these tweets.
Oh, really? Are you kidding me?
So they were talking about that remake of The Last Jedi. They were going to do a fan recut or remake of The Last Jedi. Pablo Hidalgo retweets it and says, drop the trailer in celebration. Official executive working at Lucasfilm.
And why does this not stop before now?
Because I don't think they noticed. I think the story has been thus far that it's just been a bunch of toxic YouTubers bitching about Star Wars.
Mostly men, incel male, whatever.
Right.
Which I said, again, is insulting to the people you keep saying you're trying to represent, then you keep ignoring when they tell you they don't like things. We're not your shield, people.
Again, Pablo Hidalgo, executive at Lucasfilm. Our continued and debilitating obsession with our childhood passions was caveman masculine until the dames ruined it.
I'm a woman and I hate Rey. I think Rey's a missed opportunity. And I think Finn is more so of a missed opportunity. You had all this stuff you could have done, and instead you made unlikable characters. And these characters, come on. I'm sorry. No matter what you want to whine about Luke's and Mary Sue, not compared to Rey.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Everybody hates it. People do not like what you did. I'm sorry you don't like to hear it. Do better. Doesn't make people wrong just because they don't agree with you.
Yeah. So, Variety points out that, despite all the mended fences that the Mandalorian has created.
This is Variety, guys.
This is Variety. This is not YouTube. This is not just somebody pulling out. This is Variety. Industry respected Variety said.
Left-leaning Variety.
Yeah. Hidalgo's tweet reopened all the wounds in regards to The Last Jedi. Why? This is the last sentence. Why on earth would anyone at Lucasfilm mock a fan for crying over a deliberately meaningful scene on a Star Wars show?
Exactly. That's the reaction you want. That's good. That means they care. That's good.
And yet here we are again, blasters raised and lightsabers unsheathed all over a poorly worded private tweet.
It wasn't poorly worded. It was on purpose. Because I'll tell you what's probably the heart of it. There's two factions, like you said, we're hearing at fighting over, and he was probably on the side of the whole Luke needs to go because he's problematic side.
Yeah.
To what?
And they actually have had pictures in the offices at Lucasfilm, and people have actually had pictures of Luke Skywalker at Lucasfilm crossed out. They didn't want Luke Skywalker.
And I'm sorry, just because this vocal minority at Lucasfilm don't like Luke Skywalker and want to push this new regime, new agenda, doesn't mean the fans are going to go along with it or the fans like it. And for all the vocal minority of fans don't like Last Jedi, the vocal minority of fans have a problem with this. Most fans love this. I would beg to differ, clearly by the numbers, by the sales, by the toy failures, by every pretty much metric you can measure it by. It failed. And I'm sorry if you don't want to hear that. I didn't make the facts. I'm just telling you the facts. And you don't like it, then you know what? Look at yourself. Look inward and figure out what you did wrong and try to make it better. Stop blaming everybody else and just look in the mirror and figure out what can I do to do better, especially when you're out there making comments like this.
Yeah.
Grow the hell up.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Disney has got to has got to rein its people in at Lucasfilm, and I would say Marvel Comics as well. They're doing more damage. The fans, even like myself, I'm like, I would like to get excited about Luke coming back, but I know there are still shitty people at Lucasfilm that want to see Luke Skywalker burnt to the ground.
Right.
You know, so I'm not getting too excited because I'm like, they're going to find a way to ruin him. They're going to find a way to ruin the Mandalorian.
They're going to find a way to ruin everything because they're going to do it their way, whether or not, no matter how many people tell them not to. They know better than everyone. And they feel like, you know, the years of being able to say whatever the hell you want and mock people are just going to continue. And I think now even the media outlets are starting to turn because you might have had their backing until you did the Rise of Skywalker. You didn't give them what they wanted. So now they don't feel like they owe you anything. Plus, Disney doesn't have the money to be giving these places stuff to make them, you know, pick their side anyway.
Well, that's the thing. I think Bob Iger in some ways acted as a shield for these shenanigans because Disney, they could do whatever they wanted to with impunity because the money was flowing like water. Now that the spigots have been turned off, you know, Disney is going to have to be a lot more cautious with its franchises if they would like to continue to make money in some of the plans they had for Star Wars and have for Marvel. I don't think are going to sit well with the fans, and they will turn their money off.
But people like Pablo Hidalgo are sitting there like, stop being like you're behaving, stop being unaccepting as I'm being unaccepting.
Yeah, this is bad. But I mean, I can't even stress to you guys how bad this is that this hit Variety.
What was trending on Twitter like all over the place.
And they're even like, yeah, he apologized, but the damage is done.
But the apology was they even admitted, well, if you're apologizing, why did you do this?
Why did you do it in the first place?
Why didn't you apologize immediately? Why did you put it as your picture? Bullshit. It's because people are asking you. They could have searched it and found it.
Why do you keep posting shit like this? Why do you keep baiting the fans? You know, guys like Star Wars Theory, 2.7 million subs. I think his videos get more views on average than the official Star Wars videos.
Well, it doesn't take much.
And he was on your side.
Yeah, no, even after the lawsuit got resolved, he still only said nice things about you. Still. And that's what it's like, do you want everybody to hate you? Do you like being the center, you know, of the ass-kicking contest? I don't understand it. Do better. And like I said, I know you're listening. We have friends who tell us. And I know Disney listens to our other stuff because we have friends there who tell us. So people are like, how do you know? It's like, trust me, we know.
We know. Yeah, I'm floored because I've been saying this for years now. I don't understand how Lucasfilm and Marvel get away with the shit they get away with because we know what the rest of Disney is like. We know what the expectations are.
Well, it used to be. I don't know if they are anymore.
I don't know. I mean,
we used to have to sign, you know, all kinds of stuff to not talk about it and only not say bad things and et cetera, et cetera. And even if you give a legit review, they told you to be honest and you're honest, they still get pissed about it.
But just the expected behavior of their employees, like this bullshit really only happens with Lucasfilm and Marvel because they were grafted in. They were existing companies and they had their own culture and they got sort of grafted onto Disney, but they don't behave like Disney companies at all, clearly. And Disney, if you want to make money, you're going to have to seriously rethink, I think, social media policy, at the very least. Be like, you can think it, but for God's sake, don't say it.
You want to make money, stop listening to these dipshits.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know what? There could have been a way to make everybody happy. They could have kept Luke. They could have kept, you know, that. And they could have passed the torch and done it in a way that wasn't insulting. And they could have done it in a diverse, organically diverse, why can't Hollywood understand this way? And people would have loved it. Like we saw with The Mandalorian. They would have been okay with it. But they've gone out of their way to be as, you know, bullying and douchey as they possibly could be.
Yeah.
Why do people hate us? I have no idea. It's all because they're YouTubers and they're bad. Doesn't make them wrong.
No, doesn't make them wrong. You might not like what they say. You might not like, you know, how they're saying it. But these YouTubers did not destroy Solo at the box office. You know, they did not make Rise of Skywalker underperform. They didn't stop. They didn't turn off the money to the toy sales. The general public doesn't like the direction of Star Wars, and you've got nobody to blame but yourselves.
And then he kisses these guys' asses. Don't let these toxic people destroy what you love, what we love, what we love. You know better than they do. Don't let them destroy our vision.
Yeah. They
have to just understand that they have to accept it. And they don't like it, then we'll make sure we mock and harass them and try to cause them trouble.
And remember, guys, the Star Wars fan, according to Pablo Hidalgo at Lucasfilm, I've never even seen these tweets, and I'm appalled. This guy's supposed to represent the company. Star Wars fandom's always been shitty. Always been shitty. So this guy's going to go to Celebration. I'm sorry, in Celebration.
So Pablo Hidalgo's always been shitty?
He's always been shitty. You're going to go there and look at the Star Wars fans and tell them, like, yeah, I think you're all a bunch of ass clowns and you're shitty, and I'm thinking how much I hate you in the back of my head, but I'm supposed to be here representing Star Wars. You can't represent that brand if you clearly loathe it. That's not the Disney way. And
it is anymore.
Well, you've got Filoni and Favreau who actually love Star Wars.
And it shows.
And it shows.
Maybe try being more like them and less like yourself.
There you go. We gonna wrap it up?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture.
Wait. One more thing, just for them. There we go.
That's an ass spanking for the road there.
There you go.
Lucasfilm. All right, guys, gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.